Today we will start a new chapter, fiscal policy. So, fiscal policy, we will start fiscal policy with the meaning and definition. You can see here the most important instrument of government intervention in the economy today is that of fiscal policy. That means the fiscal policy is related to the government policy. So, the fiscal policy is related to the income and expenditure of the government. That's why it is also called the income and expenditure policy. And it is framed to achieve a set of objectives of the government. So, here, what are the sources of income and where the government spends? So, there are various sources of the government income or government's revenue. The first source is the taxation. Second source is the public borrowing or internal or external borrowing. And the third source will be deficit financing. And the government expenditure, it means the government spends on the economic activities like developmental activities or for the social welfare. So fiscal policy is concerned with the raising the government revenue or incurring the government expenditure. कि government ऐसी इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी जो गवर्नमेंट की रेवेन्यू और एक्सपेंडिचर से रिलेटेड है जिससे कि हमारे जो इकोनॉमी के सेट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं वो अचीव हो सके. सो दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फिस्कल पॉलिसी. Now we are looking at the some definition of fiscal policy. Here I cited 3 definition, but I am going to discuss only one definition here. The Lipsey and Stanier definition. The fiscal policy as defines as a conscious attempts of the government to achieve certain macro level goals of policy by altering the volume and pattern of its revenue and expenditure and balance between them. It means the fiscal policy is an attempt or an economic policy of the government to achieve certain macro level objective. Macro level objective means the objective of the whole economy. That means to achieve the set of objective, macro level objective by altering or by changing the government revenue and expenditure और बैलेंसिंग बिटवीन देम कि गवर्नमेंट की रेवेन्यू और एक्सपेंडिचर को चेंज करके जो इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी बनाई जाती है कुछ मैक्रो लेवल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव करने के लिए. दैट इज कॉल्ड द फिस्कल पॉलिसी. Any policy or any activities of the government that is related to income and expenditure, that will be called the fiscal policy. So there are 3 types of fiscal policy. That means fiscal policy can be of 3 types: neutral, expansionary or contractionary. Neutral fiscal policy means when there is no change in income and expenditure of the government. That means when the economy is in the normal situation or is in neither in recession or nor a boom. It means there will be normal situation in the economy, ना तो रिसेशन है ना ही बूम या इन्फ्लेशन की सिचुएशन है. So the government's revenue and spendings will be same over the time. Expansionary fiscal policy. Expansionary means expansionary fiscal policy involve the government spending exceeding tax revenue. That means when the government increases its government expenditure and reduces the taxation. जब गवर्नमेंट अपनी स्पेंडिंग को बढ़ा देती है और टैक्सेस को रिड्यूस कर देती है, दैट इज एक्सपेंशनरी फिस्कल पॉलिसी, एक्सपेंशन होना. Then third one is the contractionary, which is opposite to expansionary. That means, and one more thing is expansionary fiscal policy is adopted in the situation of recession. कि रिसेशन के टाइम में एक्सपेंशनरी फिस्कल पॉलिसी अडॉप्ट किया जाता है गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से, जब गवर्नमेंट अपनी एक्सपेंडिचर को इंक्रीज कर देती है और टैक्सेशन रिड्यूस कर देती है, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर आगे जाके इन्वेस्टमेंट, एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड इनकम जनरेट करती है. एंड बाय द रिड्यूसिंग द टैक्सेस, गवर्नमेंट increases the disposable income of the people, that will increase the aggregate demand in the economy, and that will help to reduce the effect of the recession. Contractionary fiscal policy is totally opposite of the expansionary fiscal policy. It means when the government reduces its expenditure and increases the tax. It means the government, and it is adopted at the time of inflation only, or at the time of boom, when government expenditure reduces and it increases the tax rates, because at the time of inflation the aggregate demand is increasing continuously. That's why the government reduces its expenditure, and by increasing tax, it will reduce the disposable income of the people, that will reduce the aggregate demand in the economy, and it will help to reduce the inflation level. So there are three types. Neutral means there will be no change in the income and expenditure of the government. Expansionary means increase in the government revenue and reduction in tax rate. Contractionary fiscal policy, when the government expenditure reduces and tax rate will increase. And neutral fiscal policy will be adopted at the time of normal situation, expansionary at the time of recession, and contractionary at the time of depression or recession. So these are the types of fiscal policy. Now let's look at the objective of fiscal policy. As I discussed in the meaning, that the fiscal policy are framed to achieve certain types of objectives. So what are the objective of the fiscal policy? The first objective of fiscal policy is the development by effective mobilization of resources. It is the first and foremost objective of fiscal policy to ensure the economic growth and development. And economic growth and development can only be achieved by mobilization of resources. Mobilization of resources means to utilize the resources in a proper manner, which will increase the production level of the economy and increase the economic growth and development. It is the first objective of fiscal policy. Second objective is efficient allocation of financial resources. In fiscal policy, the government spends on different kinds of activities. So the objective is to allocate financial resources efficiently. Efficiently means the government should allocate financial resources on developmental activities, which includes like expenditure on railway, on infrastructure, and on medical facilities, on education, that will help in the economic development. While non-developmental activities like defense, interest payment, subsidies should be less. So the financial resources should be allocated efficiently so that the economic growth and development increase. The third and important objective is to reduce inequalities of income and wealth. Here the inequality means इनकम और वेल्थ का जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है दैट इज अनइक्वल. इनकम और वेल्थ का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अनइक्वल कैसे होता है कि हमारा जो मोस्ट ऑफ द नेशनल इनकम का पार्ट है दैट गोज इनटू द हैंड्स ऑफ top 10% people and lesser part of the national income is distributed among the larger section of the society. अगर हम अभी के डेटा देखें तो 70% income is concentrated in the hands of top 10% of the people and 30% is distributed among the 90% people of the economy. That means the income and wealth are increasing but it is distributed unequally. So the fiscal policy aims to reduce the inequalities of income and wealth. That means कि जो हमारी income और inequalities का जो inequalities है वो reduce हो सके. और वो reduce कैसे होगा? वो इस वजह से होता है कि indirect The third objective is to reduce the income inequalities in the economy. The fiscal policy aims to achieve social justice and equity by reducing the income inequalities. And how the government reduce the income inequality? The government imposes a direct tax more on the richer people as compared to lower income group. And through the tax collection, the government spend on the social welfare activities like education, health facilities, and scholarship, old age pension, unemployment benefits, so that the inequalities of income and wealth between the rich and poor can be reduced. The next objective is price stability and control of inflation. Price stability means the price should not fluctuate in the economy. It means the price should not increase or should not decrease continuously, because the increase in prices continuously means there will be inflation and decline in the prices means there will be recession. So government aims to control the inflation by reducing fiscal deficit, introducing tax saving schemes, and productive use of financial resources. It means the government should spend its financial resources on productive purpose only. That means the government should spend in such a manner that the production of the country will increase and that will control the inflation level of the economy. The next objective is the employment generation. Fiscal policy also aims to increase employment in the country, क्योंकि जब भी गवर्नमेंट स्पेंड करती है, एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ाती है या एक्सपेंडिचर करती है, दैट मीन्स द गवर्नमेंट इज इन्वेस्टिंग इन द इकोनॉमी एंड दैट रिजल्ट इन द डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली increasing the employment like infrastructure, roads, dams, electricity, communication, जितने चीज़ों पे भी एक्सपेंडिचर होता है गवर्नमेंट का, वो सारी चीज़ें डायरेक्ट वे में या इनडायरेक्ट वे में एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करती है. The next is the balanced regional development. Balanced development, regional development means the inequality or disparity among the states should be reduced. The government spends or gives incentives on the projects in the backward areas like subsidies, concession on taxation, and duties in form of tax holidays, finance at concessional interest rate like providing loans at a minimum interest rate if the investor is investing in the backward states like Bihar, like Uttarakhand, Odisha, so that the regional disparity among the states should be reduced. This is the objective of fiscal policy. The next objective is the reducing the deficit in the balance of payment. A balance of payment deficit means when the government's total expenditure exceeds the total revenue. And for developmental purpose, in developing economies, the government expenditure always increases continuously. So the balance of payment or balance of trade is always in the deficit. So the government aims to reduce the deficit by encouraging more exports and by reducing the imports so that the balance of payment deficit can be reduced. The next is the development of infrastructure. The government also aims to develop the infrastructure level of the economy because the infrastructure is the base of the development. It is the base of industrial development. So government spends a lot on infrastructure development so that the economic development can be increased fastly. So these are the objective of fiscal policy. Next is the instrument of fiscal policy. Means what are the tools of fiscal policy? There are 4 tools of fiscal policy. First, taxation policy. Second, expenditure policy. Third, public debt or public borrowing. And fourth is the deficit financing. Now we will discuss all these policy, all these instruments in detail. So first instrument of fiscal policy is the taxation policy. As we know, the government's fiscal policy is related to the income and expenditure of the government. So I earlier told you that the sources of income of the government are taxation, public borrowing, and deficit financing. So first source and major source of income of the government is the taxation, and there are various types of taxes, direct or indirect tax. Direct tax like income tax, wealth tax, corporate tax, etc. But the taxation policy directly influenced the aggregate demand of the economy. How the taxation affect the aggregate demand? So you can see here a formula. Kt equal to minus C upon 1 minus C. K, as you know, multiplier, and Kt denotes the tax multiplier. टैक्स मल्टीप्लायर का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? 1 upon 1 minus MPC. C is the MPC, marginal propensity to consume. Minus C upon 1 minus C describes because of imposing taxes, the consumption of the people declines because the consumption is directly related to the disposable income of the people. So when the government imposes tax, the size of the disposable income reduces. That's why the consumption decline in the economy. And when consumption declines, the aggregate demand also declines. But taxation policy in different types of situation is different. At the time of inflation, the government adopt the contractionary taxation policy, contractionary fiscal policy. That means the government increases the tax rate, and when the government increases tax rate, the disposable income of the people declines, and hence consumption and aggregate demand will decline. The inflation also declines. At the time of depression, the government use the taxation policy, that is expansionary. That means expansionary fiscal policy in which government reduces the taxation, and by reducing tax, the government increase the consumption level and aggregate demand of the economy. That helps in the economy removing out of the problem of depression. Here are the aims of taxation policy. The first aim of taxation policy is to promote saving of the people. It means the taxation policy should be aimed to increase the saving of the people. The second aim of taxation policy is to promote the investment level. Tax should be designed in such a manner that it helps in increasing the investment level in the economy. The third objective is to mobilize the resources for the government. It means the taxation aimed to increase the revenue of the government. The next objective is to reduce the income inequality in the country. Tax should be designed in such a manner that it should have less burden on the poor people and more burden on the rich people, so that the inequality between the income and wealth should be minimized. Next aim is to control the inflation and deflation situation. It means the tax should be designed in such a way that the price should be stabilized. ना तो inflation हो ना ही deflation हो. Price should not rise continuously and should not fall continuously. So these are the aims of taxation policy. Next tool of fiscal policy is the public expenditure policy. Public expenditure have a multiple effect upon the income, output, employment, as well as on investment level. But the public expenditure is designed differently in the different situation of the economy. It means in inflation and at the time of recession, the public expenditure policy is different. So public expenditure has a positive impact as well as negative impact also. At the time of inflation, fiscal policy should be contractionary. It means the public expenditure should be reduced, because at the time of inflation, aggregate demand is high and price level is rising continuously. So government aims to control the inflation through declining the aggregate demand. That's why the public expenditure is reduced by the government, because when public expenditure is reduced, the investment, employment and income of the country will reduce automatically, and that will help in controlling the inflation. But at the time of depression, public expenditure plays a very important role, because at the time of depression aggregate demand is low, and depression के टाइम पे डिमांड लो होने के साथ साथ प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टर्स मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट नहीं करते, इकोनॉमी बिल्कुल डाउन होती है. तो उस टाइम पे गवर्नमेंट का रोल ज़्यादा होता है कि वो इन्वेस्टमेंट करे ताकि हमारी जो इकोनॉमी है वो डिप्रेशन से बाहर आए. तो गवर्नमेंट is a major force which helps in reviving the economy. So at the time of depression, public expenditure will increase. That will help in increasing the employment level, income level, and investment level in the economy. And the government spends on various developmental and non-developmental activities such as infrastructure, social welfare, non-developmental expenditure like defense, interest payment, subsidy, etc. So government spends on various types of activities to promote the economic growth and development. The third fiscal policy tool is the public debt. Public debt means the borrowing by the government. Public debt is also a source of government's revenue. So government take debt or borrowing when the government expenditure exceeds its revenue. Government can borrow from the non-banking financial intermediaries, from the commercial banking system, from the central bank through printing of new currency, and from the public as well. But the government borrows from the public when there is inflation in the country. It means when there is inflation in the country, the government wants to decline the supply of money. That's why the government sell its bonds and securities so that the money supply will decline, and it is also called an anti-inflationary policy. There are two sources of the public debt, internal and external. Internal debt means when the government takes loan from the internal sources or within the country, from the public, either from the banking system or central bank. That is called the internal debt. External debt means when the government borrow from the outside the country, from the foreign countries or from the international organizations. The internal debt constitutes 93% and the external debt is very low as compared to internal debt, and that is 7% only. So the public debt is also a source of the government's income. The fourth tool is the deficit financing. Deficit means घाटा, और उस घाटे को फाइनेंस करना है. The deficit financing is done when the government total expenditure exceeds the government revenue. Then the government finance its deficit by the borrowing. Borrowing can be done from the public, from the commercial banking system, or from the central bank of the country. But deficit financing has a negative impact, that it leads to increase in money supply and price level of the economy. It means it is inflationary, because deficit financing, if in terms of India, we can say the deficit financing means when the government expenditure exceeds its government revenue, and the central bank and government takes loan from central bank, and the central bank issues the new currency notes to the government, and it leads to increase in money supply. And due to increase in money supply, the aggregate demand will increase, and hence the price level increases. That's why it is inflationary. But why does government finance its deficit, and why the deficit arises? The first purpose of deficit financing can be to finance the defense expenditure during war. During war, the government needs a lot of money. That's why to finance the defense expenditure, the government takes loan from the central bank. Second, at the time of depression, the government expenditure increases continuously. That's why the government's deficit also increases, and then government takes loan from the central bank. To mobilize the resources for capital formation, like developing the infrastructure, telecommunication, and etc. And for plan expenditure, जैसे गवर्नमेंट प्लान बनाती है, 5 ईयर प्लान, 3 ईयर प्लान्स, बजट, तो उस पर बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेंडिचर होता है, तो उस एक्सपेंडिचर को फाइनेंस करने के लिए भी गवर्नमेंट कैन बोरो फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल बैंक और फ्रॉम द पब्लिक. So these are the 4 tools. First was the taxation policy, second was the public expenditure, third was the public debt, and fourth is the deficit financing. So after discussing about meaning, definition, objective, and tools, there are some policies, fiscal policy, how the fiscal policy is used during the inflation and during the deflation. So inflation means when the goods, price of the goods and services rises continuously in the economy over the period of time. That is called the inflation. Inflation arises, there are 2 sides of inflation, that is demand side and supply side. From demand side, the inflation arises when aggregate demand is more as compared to aggregate supply. Supply side inflation is a 2 types. It can be wage induced and it can be profit induced. When the wage increases, the cost of the production increases. Due to increase in cost of production, prices of the goods and services rise. And profit induced means when profit increases, due to increase in profit, the price of cost of the production rises. As a result, price also rises. So during the time of inflation, how fiscal policy is used? So at the time of inflation, the government aims to decline the aggregate demand in the economy. So first policy is decrease in public expenditure. Due to decrease in public expenditure, employment, income of the people declines. As a result, aggregate demand falls. And due to fall in aggregate demand, inflation will also decline. The second is increase in public debt. The government increase its public debt or start borrowing from the public because the public borrowing reduce the purchasing power of the people. And by reducing the purchasing power of the people, the consumption will decline, hence the aggregate demand goes down. Third tool is the increase in taxation. Because of taxation, disposable income of the people will decline, and when disposable income decline, consumption will decline. Because consumption is a function of disposable income, the consumption will decline, hence the aggregate demand of the economy will decline, and due to fall in aggregate demand, the price will goes down. Surplus budgetary policy. Budgetary policy means the government budget can be of 3 types. It can be balanced, it can be deficit, or it can be surplus. Balanced budget means when the government revenue and expenditure is equal. Deficit budget when expenditure exceeds the government revenue, and surplus budget when government revenue exceeds the government expenditure. So at the time of inflation, government should introduce the surplus budget to control the inflation. Overvaluation of money. Overvaluation means the रुपये का डिवैल्यूएशन या ओवर वैल्यूएशन. जब रुपये का डिवैल्यूएशन होता है तो रुपये की वैल्यू घट जाती है इन टर्म्स ऑफ फॉरेन करेंसी. ओवर वैल्यूएशन मीन्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ फॉरेन करेंसी द वैल्यू ऑफ मनी increases. So due to overvaluation of money, exports will decline and imports will increases, because due to overvaluation of rupee, the domestic price of domestic goods and services will increase. That leads to decline in exports and export revenue will decline. That's why the income and aggregate demand will fall. Delay in repayment of old debt. गवर्नमेंट ओल्ड डेप्ट को रीपे करने में डिले करती है, देन मनी सप्लाई उससे कम हो जाता है कि जो पुराना लोन लिया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट ने कमर्शियल बैंक से या सेंट्रल बैंक से या पब्लिक से, तो अगर उसको देने में डिले करती है तो मनी सप्लाई जो है इकोनॉमी की वो डिक्लाइन हो जाती है, जिससे लोगों की एग्रीगेट डिमांड डिक्लाइन होगी मनी इनकम कम होने से. सो दीज आर द पॉलिसी ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. At the time of deflation, what will be the government fiscal policy? So it will be totally opposite from the inflation. Like government expenditure should be increased so that the employment, income and investment will increase. Taxation should be reduced. That will help in increasing the consumption and disposable income of the people. Social welfare expenditure should be increased, like on education, health, medical service, social security, so that the welfare and standard of living of the people will increase, and it helps in increasing the aggregate demand in the economy. Pump priming investment. Pump priming investment is that investment which motivate the private investors. The investment at the time of depression or recession, which induce the private investor to invest in the economy, that is called the pump priming. Price support policy should be given to the farmers at the time of deflation or recession, so that the farmers income can be raised. Deficit financing from the central bank, which will help in increasing the money supply in the economy, and therefore, due to increase in money supply, the money income of the people will increase. Hence, the aggregate demand of the people or the economy will rise. And all these steps will help in controlling the deflation. So, these are the tools to reduce the impact of inflation. So, the fiscal policy at the time of inflation is different, and at the time of deflation is different. So this is all about the fiscal policy. We have studied the meaning and definition, then objective, what are the types of fiscal policy, tools, and the fiscal policy at the time of inflation and deflation. So thank you so much.